Ahoy no ra tu tahi me katika. Di to tahi pato ni trangi muna mana titago ia. Mai ki ia tate to vita hi. E ka hone re tia ki nga to tato wari ki nga wai ko te po. E no mai nai ngata hunde watapu ona ma tu tupu na tere mo mai ki papa. Tu he tia po te 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 po tu fit. Hoy no ra tene tia tu nei ki te wai no nga ma tu nga tupu na ki te mai ra ki wai no ia ma tu tine kwa. I te whakarongo ake nei i ngā kōrero ko raranga hia nei te tini te mana. Urira te wairua mai rā puta. E mihi, kātika ki ngā mate tari ana tō tātou kingi, kōrera wai mutu ngā tangi mō rā watahi, mō rā tuka tōko whetu rangitia. Kai anō rā nei rā mātu ko tai mai rā ki ngoi te aroaro o koutou. Iuna atu nei tō koutou tarenga ki te whakarunga i ngā wairua o tēnei kōrero ko rere haere atuana. Urira nei rā mātu e mihi atuana kia koutou, huri no tēnā putau, tēnā tātou katoa.
Nā whakamoe me te whakawheta ewe, mō au mana ki tanga ki te wi e tau nei, ko koe te piringa, ka puta ki te oranga, e te ariki, pai mari e.
Koia no rā kōrera wai mutu ngā kupu ko puta mai rā tō tātou kingi. Kia Māori tātou ia te rā. Koe tū te tiriti o Waitangi. Koe tū te mana mutu, te mana Māori mutu hake, korira tēnā tātou.
Tēnā koutou e nā rangatira. You will have read the contention presented by the Tangata Whenua Social Workers Association. I would just like to add a little kōrero before we open up the floor to Paaka. The points of contention that the association would like to add to what has already been presented are as follows. The sovereignty of knowledge is often at the expense of the rangatiratanga, of the whānau, tamariki, hapuri, hapu and iwi. The power of recognised qualification, predominantly tertiary, tends to marginalise the kotahitanga of collaboration and experience. Risk aversion, both as organisations and in practice, dominates the imperative nature of tiakitanga or custodianship. The determinant of perception undermines the sustainability of connection in uritanga. The association contends that the principles of the Treaty of Waitangi will exacerbate the points raised above and for the profession and practice of social work, impede an effective delivery of service by the non-recognition of distinction, which then influences the potentiality of engagement of people and structures to address life challenges and enhance well-being. To diminish accountability both of organisational systems and competence in social work practice to navigate the uniqueness of difference and respect for diversities. The focus on averting risk marginalises the centrality of tiakitanga and oranga, therefore need to not meet either in longevity or in sustainability, thereby jeopardising the potential for social change and development. The paramountcy of perception will subjugate the uritanga of whānau, tamariki, hapuri, hapu and iwi, and in this, the empowerment and liberation of people will be severely impacted upon and the promotion of social cohesion decimated. The association would like to leave the acronym as follows. Perception, the dominance of, accountability, the limitations of, and connection, the constraint of. And therein lies your acronym of PAC. Nō reira, tēnā koutou e tira Māori ora tātou.
Thank you for your submission. I'll take questions. The first is from Maimino Papaki, and then we'll go to Duncan Webb.
Okay. Tēnā koutou nau mai, aere maira, ki tō whare. Ko te pātai tuatahi. And so it's, I'll just go straight in. How does this bill harm Māori social services and community development? You make quite a few points inside your submission, but that's probably the...
Why, there's a wānanga in itself.
Yeah, no, pono.
I think the way it constrains, and I will talk about Tangata Whenua social workers in particular, is the language that is often utilised. And let me exemplify that by looking at the word culture, in my opinion, and certainly that of the associations. It limits the potentiality of language in that we're not talking about culture, we're talking about identity. So I think this is where, as has been referred by previous speakers, the limitation of culture already sets a tone which then inhibits the potentiality of practices Tangata Whenua social workers. The second point that the association would add to that is the power of connection. So as Tangata Whenua social workers, we have the opportunity, and indeed I would say the potentiality, to connect. And that's both with whānau, tamariki, hapu, hapuri, etc. And I think that connection is often minimised by the perception of what is social work. And because social work comes from largely a tradition that is perhaps in some respects separated from us as Tangata Whenua, it in many ways limits what for us is the beauty and power of Paaka, I would say. So languaging and applicability of language can constrain practice and the perception of our discipline, in our opinion.
Thank you. Question from Duncan.
John Whenua, thank you for your submission. Look, I'm really interested in your expertise in the social work field. This bill seeks to reduce the treaty down to a kind of bundle of individual rights. Can you talk about your work as social workers and the importance of kind of communities, context, belonging, family, and histories, and how the treaty assists you in your work in kind of helping people through the situations they face?
If I may respectfully respond to your pathway, in that our work as Tangata Whenua social workers is not limited to the individual, that the individual has connections, and that's where the potency of uritanga becomes so pertinent, is that once you start as social workers unpacking what might be a referral to your service, you then start drawing connections to the trauma, to the mamaitanga, to the hurt, to the pain that has been threaded right throughout that whānau, and I would suggest, and we would suggest, generations before. I think this is where the limitation of connection and often diagnosis to that individual situation prohibits or indeed constrains the power of that connection. And if I may just briefly diverge for a while, we talk about te tiriti o Waitangi, but actually we go back as far as whakapūtanga. So the historical connection is what leads to the turbulence of today, which then generates what is to come. And I think it's that connection generationally that becomes really important for us as Tangata Whenua social workers.
Thank you. Look, I'm sorry to interrupt, but well, that's the end of the time allocated. Steve, I'll prioritise your next question. Thank you.
Okay, that was a very nice, how do I call it? Polite, nice. We oppose this bill, but we show you respect.
Yeah. Now, that submission kind of reminded me of ACT's other bill, which is the repealing of Section 7AA. Please refer to that video where I absolutely lose my rag at Karen Shaw for context. But the Section 7AA puts the 3 Ps into practice, and that's our compromise, remember, folks? That seeks to improve relations between the Crown and iwi. And, you know, being social workers, they've probably seen a lot of kids end up in state care. And having Crown services and Crown funding to keep kids out of state care is really important. It keeps kids in connection with their communities and their iwi and hapu and their marae.
Yeah. Anything you want to add, Wayne?
No, I think you've summed it up there exactly. You know, it affects our people in so many ways, and because we've got so many in state care in the prison system, what she says basically relates to that directly. And after all the submissions, you know, a lot of it is integrated into each other, and I just think, you know, I haven't been here all day like you two have, so you know, a lot of it.
We're not sure if Stacey would jump in, but we can take 3 of us.
A lot of it's the same thing dressed up as
Go on.
in a different story. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So the one time we do that when there isn't an empty chair there, that we do as a joke, like, look, there's an empty chair. Yeah, no, it has been a interesting day. I don't know. It's been weird trying to pull it all off.
Yeah. I think it was a good idea, though, because, like, a lot of people, like, I only saw some of the submissions because I was busy that day. So I got to look in, look out, and I didn't get to see a lot of submissions one after the other. So it was good to be able
and we don't normally do it that way. Like, this was one of, it was such an important bill. How do we do it off? And this was a trial run to see if this is something we might do in the future.
Question I wanted to ask is the comments down the side here. Can we reply to those comments?
Yes. I'm not sure if you physically can on Restream, but if you went onto your own YouTube account, yes.
Oh, I can do it from YouTube. And so,
Yeah.
so I can go into my YouTube with this stream on YouTube to do it.
Yes, yeah. And it'll be live right now. Yeah.
Okay,
You can
so
do that. Yes.
yeah, okay. I'll open up another window so I can do that.
Yeah, it's definitely yes, that's quite good about what's it called? Kiwi Skits comment on here. I've only been here since 7 p.m. Don't think I could do the whole 7 hours if I don't know. Well, yeah. On the other one, it's prepared Laura ready for Newtown Festival Day.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the IT issues, I think it went okay. We just got to fix the internet connection and.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to our Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok.